of the Herman Brister III SU starting safety, Hannah Brister, who also attended Southern Lab and attends Belfair Baptist Church. He is the son again of director of the Southern University Lab School, Herman Brister, and the beautiful Jessica Brisker, both graduates of the Southern University. You have the floor, Hannah.
Chairman Clayton, President Shields, members of the board, and distinguished guests, may you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Hunter. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Vice Chair.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Hunter. Now we'll have special presentations, above and beyond award. Chancellor Pierre. I'm sorry, Chancellor Washington.
They both look alike.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the board. When I heard that the law school and a law school employee would be the recipient of the above and beyond award, I was very excited. And then I was told that our associate vice chancellors and vice chancellors are not eligible. But I want you guys to know that we have several at the Law Center who are worthy of the award. And I see Tony is messing with his glasses. I called him this morning and said, can I acknowledge some people this morning? He said, you have 1 minute. And I really need more time than that, but I do have some faculty members here this morning. And staff, would you please stand from the Law Center? Yeah. We got a great team over there, and I appreciate if you give these guys a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Y'all stand up and give it up.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And I see one of the students who passed the bar out of that 75%. Will you stand? If there are some others, will you stand? Oh, yeah. No. So this was definitely a collaborative effort. And the leader of the class of 2025 is here this morning. She's the former SBA president, Whitley Parker. Will you stand, Whitley? The theme of that class was pass the bar exam. And they put in the work. They were confident when they took the exam, and they were confident because they were prepared thanks to the leadership of Whitley Parker. And Denisha Mitchell was the coordinator of our student bar study groups. And the students worked together to prepare for the bar exam. So thank you, Whitley, and thank you, class. And our current president, Mr. Manzi, and Larry James, the gentleman you heard about earlier, they are taking that student involvement to a whole new level. I think it's, Aaron, you got 250 maybe students who are working together, and they are coordinating their own study sessions on topics that they have an interest in, and we're providing them with the resources that they need. But this is one of the reasons that we as a team were able to do what we did. I also want to recognize the Associate Vice Chancellor for our bar prep program, Cynthia Reed. Will you please stand? Cynthia Reed, she manages our bar prep courses. Our students are required to take bar prep courses in the senior year. And she coordinates that. She coordinates our supplemental board program, our face-to-face program. And we had submitted the name this morning of Michael Gerard, and he was supposed to be recognized, Mr. President, along with the other people that you mentioned. Michael Gerard manages our virtual program. That's the program that we put in place to help our graduates who have taken the board multiple times. He has done a great job. Mike, will you please stand? But going back to Cynthia, look, there's nobody at that law school who has a passion for the students' success than her. I mean, when the students take the bar in July and February, Cynthia Reed and Michael Gerard, they're there greeting those students when they enter the testing facility and when they exit the testing facility, giving them support. And I just want to personally thank you guys for all the work that you do. Now, for the Above and Beyond Award, we're going to present that this morning to one of our shining stars. Miss Atiana Jackson is our Director of Communication and External Affairs, and she has strengthened the Law Center's brand by consistently showcasing the accomplishments of our students and graduates on our campus monitors and our social media platforms. She has improved how we tell our story brightly and boldly. She is involved in nearly every area of the Law Center, including admissions, fundraising, career services, and alumni engagement, and never hesitates to assist any department with promotion or outreach. Self-driven and highly dependable, she requires no supervision. When given a task, it is done thoroughly and with excellence. Always professional, proactive, and passionate. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Atiana Jackson, the recipient of the SULC Above and Beyond Award.
Well, this is quite the surprise. I'm used to putting the Law Center out there. I don't like the spotlight and attention, but I don't really have much to say. I'm just very grateful to be part of an institution that appreciates its faculty and staff, and I look forward to continuing to show up to do the work every day. Thank y'all.
Mr. Chair, if I could take a point of personal privilege as you guys walk back. We have been negligent in presenting our Above and Beyond Award. If you all don't know, this is something that came from Chairman Emeritus Ann Smith some years ago. And so we are so honored to bring that back and recognize our faculty and staff. So again, Chairman Clayton and Vice Chairman, we really appreciate you guys putting that back on the agenda and allowing us to honor our faculty and staff. Thank you.
Absolutely, congratulations. Now we'll have the Thurgood Marshall College Fund Project HBCU Capacity Building for SUBR. Chancellor Pierre.
Good morning. Morning, Chairman Clayton, Vice Chairman Abraham, and members of the Honorable Board. We were very blessed to be a recipient, one of 8 recipients of a capacity building award from the Lilly Endowment through the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. The proposal is entitled Building Capacity for Strategic Data Leadership at Southern University and A&M College, and that proposal qualified for a $2 million award over a 2-year period. It would not have been possible without the leadership of Dr. Young and the whole project team. And I'd like Dr. Young to come and make a brief presentation on what this proposal is about and what this award is about.
Thank you, Chancellor Pierre. Good morning, Chair Clayton, Vice Chair Abraham, other members of this honorable board, President Shields. It is my honor and pleasure to share with you the award that we just received for $2 million from the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. And I would be remiss if I don't acknowledge the leadership and the support of Dr. Harry L. Williams, who is the president and CEO of Thurgood Marshall, and who goes above and beyond to make sure that HBCUs are strengthened. So for our project, Building Capacity for Strategic Data Leadership at Southern University and A&M College, Chancellor Pierre serves as the PI over our project. And as he stated, it's a $2 million award for 2 years. So we have a short time to make a big impact. Next slide, please. And I will not be before you long. I see it in your eyes, Chair Clayton. So I'll talk with you about our project focus, the goals, rationale, objective, and activities of our grant, and I will answer any questions that you may have. So as you know, next slide, please. As you know, our state has formula funding as it relates to funding our system and others. So as a part of this formula, there are a number of metrics that go into deciding how much funding the Southern University system receives. So as we considered what we should focus on in this particular grant, we thought about a number of things. All of the 5 vice chancellors came together from enrollment management, student affairs, research, finance, and academic affairs, had brainstorming sessions, talked through a number of different areas, and eventually decided to focus on building capacity within our infrastructure, within the data. Because as you know, when you put clean data in, you get clean data out. The opposite of that is bad data in, bad data out. So as we move towards being strategic in our thinking and our decision making, it's critically important that we have clean data so that we can make very good decisions. Hence, the focus of our project is to build capacity in the area of strategic data leadership across 3 key areas: enrollment management, learner success, and digital infrastructure, so that ultimately we improve Southern University's performance over time. And we chose to focus on 3 specific goals. So in essence, Southern is seeking to transform its data infrastructure and student success outcomes through this Thurgood Marshall Capacity Building Grant. So our first goal focuses on integrating and enhancing data systems for strategic decision-making. So I have 4 goals that I'll review with you. Each one gives the rationale, the objective, and some selected activities and outcomes that we hope to achieve. So for the first one, the rationale is simply Southern needs a unified data infrastructure so that we can be timely in reporting. We can make these very important decisions. We need to stop operating in silos, not just personnel, not just people, but our systems. Our systems were operating in silos. So with the help of this grant, we are going to unify that so that our systems, Banner, Canvas, EAB Navigate, IntelliBoard, all of those systems will collaborate and function together in unison. We are building a strong digital foundation. The objective is to launch these interactive dashboards so that we have data at our fingertips, so that we can make key data-driven decisions. Now, some of those activities and outcomes include, we plan to build a centralized data warehouse and analytics platform. We will automate administrative processes. We're going to save some trees. Stop using all that paper. So we will do automation within academic affairs, our registrar's office, budget and finance, HR, and we will also launch a data governance committee. Our second goal focuses on improving learner success and academic readiness through data-informed interventions. Now, the rationale for this one is simply retention, and you've heard me say this hundreds of times, to improve on retention, persistence, progression, success in our gateway courses, and ultimately completion. So we want to improve on those metrics towards greater student success. And the way that we can do that is to be able to improve our data systems so that we can give those targeted interventions. We can target the students who need the intervention and provide them with the services that they need. So the objective for this particular goal is to increase student academic performance, utilizing our existing platforms. And keep in mind, from goal one, all of these platforms will now be communicating with each other and working together. It will help us to target those students who need help. And I'm very excited about the activities and outcomes of this particular goal. So we are partnering with McGraw-Hill, and McGraw-Hill has a literacy program that's called Accelerate 3000. So what we plan to do is to take a pilot. We will do a pilot, take a group of students. We will pre-test them to get a gauge on where they are as it relates to literacy. And this program, McGraw-Hill Accelerate 3000, actually level sets. So let's say if a student has a very low literacy score or literacy grade level, this program, once the student is immersed in the platform and they're actually doing the work within it, it level sets, it adjusts to where they are academically as it relates to their reading fluency and comprehension, and it helps to strengthen them. So those weaker readers will become strong, and then those who have strong literacy skills will become even stronger. Reading is fundamental, right? Cuts across every discipline. So we believe if we can help to strengthen the literacy skills of students, it will help to establish that strong foundation so that students can build on across every single discipline. Secondly, we will engage instructional designers. So we plan to transform our courses, to move away from just a dull, dry lecture. In collaboration with our business and industry cluster, we are going to change the way that we teach. We want to make sure that our students are getting experiences outside of the classroom. But as it relates to those experiences inside of the classroom, we're going to make sure that these courses are of quality. So we're going to change how we teach and what we teach. As it relates to our faculty, we are offering AQ certification, which is the Association of Colleges and University Educators. Just as a PK through 12 teacher could be certified, we're going to offer certification for higher education faculty to make sure that they know how to teach, they know how to differentiate instruction, they know how to assess. In addition to our Quality Matters certification, which is our online training. And lastly, we already have university college ambassadors. We're going to have them now as ambassadors who provide leadership and coaching to our first and second year students. So our third goal, and I'm almost done, is to increase enrollment and access through data-driven outreach and retention. As you know, we've set these enrollment and financial targets, but these targets require that we expand learner access and learner opportunities beyond the first year. So the objective for this one is to increase efficiencies within enrollment management, inclusive of financial aid and quality course offerings, all in an effort to increase student success. So some of the activities under this goal include deploying predictive analytics to optimize enrollment. We should be able to predict some things. We should know what our class of 2027 looks like just based on the data, the clean data that we will now have. We plan to improve our progression rates at 30 and 60 credit hours and to look at a program that will re-enroll stopouts. And last but not least, our fourth goal, is to strengthen data leadership culture and skills. In essence, this one focuses on data fluency and data literacy, just making sure that our faculty, our staff are digitally literate. And I won't go into the details because you're getting kind of antsy, Chair Clayton. Any questions? Yes.
Few years ago, I talked to the president and I told him biggest challenge I see us having is that technology has not met up with academics, Ms. Smith. I'm starting to see, Mr. President, technology meeting up with academics. When you come into being able to predict and seeing where our problems are and discovering what's happening with our retention rate, that's what we should be about. So I commend you on that. And I want to make sure we continue to focus on growing that throughout the system, but also congratulations on the grant. There's another big grant I think is going to be announced this weekend. I knew you all have been working with a group to help your group. So I encourage you to speak with others in academia to share your successes so that we can grow and encourage throughout the system folk to start working and be a little bit more ambitious on getting grants. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Dr. Young.
Thank you.
Chairman has a
I have a question,
additional comment.
Chair. And have funds for our homecoming. I just wanted to get that out, Whitehorn, that we are on top of it and they're meeting as we speak, thanks to the president and the chancellor having Jeff LaDuff and those guys working. So they're working as we speak. Dr. Tarver?
I couldn't hear you from the back, so I didn't know whether you were sending me out or inviting me up.
We'll tell after 3 minutes.
You told me 5 last night. Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, Mr. President, honorable members of the Board of Supervisors, it's indeed a pleasure to come to give you a quick update. The presentation that you heard from Dr. Young really coincides and dovetails with the initiatives that we've undertaken. You're establishing this, what do we call it? The University College of Southern University, Baton Rouge. Keep in mind that there's always a reference to this as the junior division. You recall that the junior division was discovered and established in the 1970s. And from that time, by the time we got to 2002, we formed the University College. Now, the chairman probably forgot the fact that he was vice chairman of the Board of Supervisors time we did that. I think Sam Gilliam was the chairman at that time, and I happened to have been president. And our efforts to create the University College was to see if we could not strengthen the internal capacity to help all of our youngsters be more successful in school. We wanted to make sure that we could recruit more actively and competitively. At the same time, to be able to get our youngsters through here, to keep a high detention rate, so that we could at least, what I say, create a larger class of graduations. We haven't had that in the past. Currently, this task force that was established by the chairman, we divided this task force into 3 groups, and you may have heard something about it. But the 3 groups we have are chaired by members of this board. Ms. Smith is chairing one, which is the Recruitment and Admissions Committee. I'm sorry, Academic Affairs and Student Success. The second one is by Ms. Maple Gaines, which is the Recruitment and Admissions. And the third one is Innovative Partnerships and Workforce Development by Mr. Paul Matthews. In creating these three working groups, we asked each chair working with a vice chair, and there happens to be that the vice chair are the three people most involved, I think, with how we are operating this operation. Dr. Young, who just gave the presentation, happens to be the vice chair of one of the committees. Dr. Anthony Jackson is a vice chair for another, and Mr. Stubblefield is the vice chair for the last committee. We had a meeting a month ago trying to coincide what we did with this board, and that meeting went well. But by the time this month came along, together with all the activities for this weekend, we decided to do something very different. And so this past Tuesday, we had what we call was a leadership summit, which involved the chairs and vice chairs of the three working groups, along with the chair of this body, as well as our vice chair and the vice chair of your board, Mr. Abraham. And we did this by Zoom. And one of the remarkable things about this was that that meeting was recorded, and through AI was able to deduce from all of those presentations a very interesting group of information for us to disperse back to you and, of course, through these committees. What we also hope to do is to allow each committee to be able to operate on its own, so that we won't have a meeting like yours where all three committees are going to try to do something at the same time. What we're doing is empowering each of the working groups to have a meeting on their own, and it will be, of course, a Zoom meeting. And we'll use the expertise of Dr. Jarrell, who helped us greatly in the last one. And so what will happen is we can have meetings every week. If we try to do this once a month, we'll never meet your deadline, Mr. Chairman, of 6 months in February. However, we may be finished a lot sooner, because if we can take what we're doing and merge that with what Dr. Young is doing with this grant, you should really have a fine program much earlier than expected.
Rich wants you done by January, so, but we'll give you another month. But go ahead.
Well, I think we've come to that point, and I think that pretty soon you're going to have something that we can go with. So I just want to bring that to your attention and tell you we'll be working with you in the future.
Thanks for what you're doing for us, Dr. Tarver. It coincides with what Dr. Loria Young just presented. And I think you're going to see a brand new, sharper, more focused, progressive Southern University as a result of this task force and what Dr. Young just presented to us. Mr. Chair, thanks for allowing me to take that point of personal privilege. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. Next, we'll have item C, Louisiana Bar Foundation gift to Southern University Law Center, Chancellor Washington.
Good morning, and we won't be long. We don't have a PowerPoint. I'm gonna bring up Virginia Lestache, who is the director of our clinic, because this is where those funds are gonna be used, to just talk briefly about what we're gonna use the funds for. And then we're gonna have a person who is no stranger to the Southern University Law Center and to this community, Deidre Roberts, to come up and talk about the actual award.
Good morning, everyone. And I will be brief, but I do have some points that I do want to make. The Southern University Clinical Program began in 1974, and we have been going strong since that time. Our mission and purpose is to provide education to our students, teaching them to be lawyer leaders, to be lawyers out in the community, and prepare them for that service. Our mission is also to serve the community. So the Louisiana Bar Foundation has gifted us monies. We submitted a proposal and they have gifted us monies. We have $800,000, which they have gifted to us. And it's my understanding that $200,000 additional are available to us if that need should arise. The proposal, okay, we have the need and the need has arisen, and I am working on another project too. But The project itself, the $800,000, I looked at the needs of the clinic and came up with certain factors or certain projects that we could use it for. We have established a clinical legal fellowship for a fellow to come into the clinic to help us with certain needs within the clinic. Poverty within the community, and basic overall assisting with those needs. I'm going to go with that. An indigent client fund. I do want to pause with that one. Providing access to the courts is very, very important. We provide pro bono service to our clients, but they do have to pay court costs. And sometimes that presents an obstacle. And I'm telling this story because I believe it affects all of us. At the beginning of the summer, a young man, he's 19 years old. He's an undergraduate student. He had lost his mother, and he did not know what he was going to do with, or how he was going to provide, I guess, custody for his 9-year-old brother, and he wanted to acquire custody. His circumstances in the law would not allow him to obtain custody. But what we ended up doing was the family law clinic, which is my clinic. We have arranged for custody. We have that matter pending before the courts. His house, his mother's home, was being foreclosed on. His mother had passed away. We are working with our real estate and housing clinic to ensure that that matter is taken care of. Additionally, he needed letters of administration so he could handle his mother's estate. Our successions clinic is taking care of that to assist him with that matter. Shortly thereafter, his father passed away. So we have stepped in as a family to help this young man, and we've accessed our indigent client fund, which we is a priority. I'll say that is a priority in helping those in need. So that's one of the other allocations that we have used for those monies. We have public service training. We have, I want to solicit the assistance of our social work students. We've used social work students in the clinic before to help with those social needs that may arise with our clients. Know your rights. We've had many instances where people have come into the office with altercations with the police, and some have not been good. We have a Know Your Rights event. We are having our second Know Your Rights event, which is coming up. The last one I had to assist in funding, as well as some of my staff. That's something that we have monies allocated to. So it's a Know Your Rights and Limitations, and we're having it at the Mini Dome program for high school students in East Baton Rouge Parish, 11th and 12th grade. We have monies which have been allocated for resources. We have monies to advance another clinic, which I have before the curriculum committee right now for immigration, because immigration courts are moving into East Baton Rouge, and there are zero resources for immigration practice or immigrants in this particular area. We also have a program that we want to have recognition of public service within the community. I will add this, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Robert, that the monies that were given to us were asked to advance public service and to encourage our students to engage in public service. That's one of the areas that we push heavily for our students, and we are so happy that the Louisiana Bar Foundation recognizes this need and recognizes the value of Southern University's clinical legal education program and is helping us advance it.
Good morning. Good morning, Vice Chairman Abraham, members of the board. So happy to be with you this morning, President Shields, and all of Jaguar Nation. Happy homecoming. Happy homecoming. I'm Deidre Deculus Robert, SULC class of 2000 graduate, former general counsel of this esteemed institution, Most importantly though, the mother of a Jaguar. I served as past president of the Louisiana Bar Foundation, and I have with me today our current president, Edmund Gearing. And for more than 35 years, the Bar Foundation has been the source of free civil legal aid in the state of Louisiana. Our goal is to ensure that all Louisianians, regardless of their zip code, their background, or their income, have access to civil legal services that they need. With providing funding to over 770 nonprofit organizations to give marginalized communities the assistance they need and deserve, including our legal services corporations. So in 2023 and 2024, when I served as president, recognizing the need with my board to ensure that representation is available to our citizens, we set aside funding with the support of the board, the support of the staff at the Louisiana Bar Foundation, and launched a project to build a pipeline of public interest attorneys and support civil legal aid by partnering with our Louisiana law schools. And so with overwhelming support, we approved the funding to accomplish this goal. And this year, we are proud to present to Southern University Law Center $800,000 as a gift from the Bar Foundation to advance this work in their clinical education program. And Chancellor is absolutely correct. There's some more on the table that I know they're going to come back and get, but it is our duty, it is our honor and our responsibility as board members, but as attorneys in the bar, many of you here are attorneys, to be able to advance public interest law in this community and to be able to provide for free civil legal representation across Louisiana. We then began working with Southern University Law Center probably about a year ago, I think, Virginia, to make sure that we could put this money in their hands. And I'm happy to report that the money has been deposited. Member Rutledge, the money is in the bank. But today we would like to present you with the official check and just let you know that we are happy to provide this gift to our law school. And I'm extremely happy to be a graduate of the Southern University Law Center and extremely proud of the bar passage rate this year and for years to come. Thank you so much. Edmund?
I have not much to add to that. My name is Edmund Gearing. As Deidre said, I am the current president of the Louisiana Bar Foundation, and it is our privilege today to be here to represent that organization. But more importantly, to thank you, the leadership of Southern University and Southern University Law Center, for the important work that is being done to address the needs in our state. For a state that's second in poverty, third in child poverty, sixth in income inequality, we have a lot of work to do. And the presentations that I heard this morning show that this university system is certainly working to address those needs. And we are hopeful that this small gift will allow the clinical education program to support the growth of public service attorneys throughout our state, to help to address those needs and to look at the legal deserts that unfortunately exist in our state and need attorneys to help the underprivileged folks in our state. So again, thank you for your leadership. We look forward to seeing this program grow and certainly the opportunity to work together again in the future. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes, really quickly. I remember my own experience working in a legal clinic when I was a law student. I'm not going to say how many years ago, and my long time in legal education. I want to thank the Louisiana Bar Foundation and Attorney Deidre Roberts for her leadership on this. This is a critical aspect of legal education, one of the major contributions that legal education can make to the welfare of everybody in this state. And I want you to know that personally, as a lawyer and a member of the legal profession, I really appreciate what you're doing for the Southern University Law Center Clinic.
Anything with Lord in front of you.
Got it.
Washington, you doing a good job over there. Good morning.
All right, seeing there's nothing else, Special Recognition Committee is now adjourned. We will go in reverse order, board members, and take the Facilities and Property Committee before the Academic Affairs Committee due to a time constraint that member Donald Ray Henry has. But let's move on to Facilities and Property. Member Donald Ray Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. The Facility and Property Committee is now called to order. Roll call, Mr. President.
Yes, sir. Mr. Donald Ray Henry,
Present.
Ms. Maple Gaines, Mrs. L. Dudley,
Present.
Mr. Chris Massingale, Mr. Paul Matthews, Attorney Des Moines Rutledge, Attorney Edwin Shorty,
Here.
Mrs. Ann Smith,
Present.
Dr. Ronnie Whitfield,
Present.
Attorney Tony Clayton.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I need a motion to adopt the.
So moved, Dr. Whitfield.
It's been moved and second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Any public comment at this time? We'll have Mr. Kent give his report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair, to Chairman Clayton, Chairman, Vice Chair Abraham, to our facility chair, Mr. Henry, and to all the members of this group of supervisors. Just something real quick. I'm gonna throw this up just on the screen because I have something I want to make sure that we have a chance to look at. If I could get it up on the screen, we're going to go through it very briefly because we have some other engagement. If we can't get it up, I'll talk through it. I'll talk through it when you, okay. Just to let you know that was a project scope that we did some time ago, and this was dealing with a master plan for the Baton Rouge campus. It was something that was important. We were able to go through it, and I want to thank President Shields for assisting with this because it allowed us to do some things that are very important in understanding what we needed to do. Next slide, please. Okay, the utilities that are included in this master plan were all of the above. Of course, that's everything that had to do with infrastructure on the campus. And as we go through this, you're going to see why that became to be very important. Next slide. So basically, the data collection for this particular effort included GIS technology platform. Next one. It was going to integrate the locations of the data and information around the utility assets on the campus. Next. It allowed utilities to maintain accurate and up-to-date records, which is very important as you go through trying to do projects and trying to do maintenance. Next. And also it facilitates better assets tracking for maintenance and lifecycle management. Next slide. These are a couple of students from Southern University, a couple of engineering students that were working at this particular time with this. And as you see, they were going in doing real-time access of GIS location of our assets on campus. Next slide. So basically what the benefits of geotech is the scalability. It allows the geodatabase can handle large data sets, which basically can gather all our information of our access of our utilities on campus. Next. Data management, it simplifies the management of our data, allowing us to organize our utility data so that we can make better planning and maintenance decisions. Next. And then it also enhances our tracking and assists with monitoring our conditions that we have on campus. Next. And then it streamlines our operation, our field operation and management of our utilities. Next one. So basically the geodata database and tracking is a more efficient way of managing what we have on our Southern University campus. Next slide. So, and it enhances our decision-making. And I tell you, when we're doing all these projects that we had on campus, we're not knowing where stuff is located underground has caused some challenges when we were trying to do foundational work. Next slide. Now, this is what we had. I want y'all to see. This is our sewer plant from 1940. Okay. So now when you have a architect, engineer say, well, tell us where your sewer is located. Okay, well, this is what we had. Next slide. This was a little bit better. This was the upgraded sewer plant, but you can see the details were not exactly what we needed. Next slide. So now what we did digitize the plan. based on the as-built information. That's the information that we had. Next slide. But one step further is the georeferences of all of those things. Those little dots on there will indicate where every particular part of an asset is. So that when a maintenance person needs to know, or there's a contractor needs to know,
No pun intended, every point where an asset is.
yes, well, an asset.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. All right, next slide. This is our existing water and drainage system. So what we did, we overlaid all this to be able to locate where our infrastructure is located on our site. So this was very important. Next one. I'm not going to go through this, but you can see, and I think Chairman Clayton was asking about this because I think he had some very detailed conversations about why we had an issue at the mini dome or the activity center when the sewer was not working correct. Now, I'm not going to hit this particular slide, but you don't have to hit that one. But it basically shows that there's an inspection going into the manhole. Next slide. Now, this is our gravity system. As you can see, that system is coming from the activity center, going down Swan, and because we had some issues there, it caused a problem at the activity center on that sewer line that's heading back on Jesse Stone Avenue. Next slide. That's just another picture of it showing the other manholes and the other sewer access that we had, that infrastructure that we had, that we need to do something with it. Next slide. Now, I want you to hit this one. Please hit this one. It's very short. That's the sewer line. I want you to see why we had a blockage.
Byron, you should eat more vegetables.
Those are tree roots that were going into that line and causing the problem. So again, with the type of maintenance, with the type of things that we need to do to determine what our infrastructure is, we can find these things out, correct them, so we don't have the problems that we had when we have activities.
How deep is that pipe underground?
About 16 to 20 feet.
Lord, so can we like dig out in that area and patch it, or?
But this is what we did, because the company that does that, they have the tool that can actually go in and ground those roots up. So we don't have that problem anymore. That's no longer there. But just to answer your question, we do have some other projects that we'll be dealing with our infrastructure. Next one, please. So I'm sorry.
That terracotta, that's that old.
Yeah, it's old pipe, and we're trying to switch that to some new technology as well. Absolutely. Next one, please. And this just kind of shows what we're doing. When we were doing the Welcome Center, we also have some things that we had to deal with trying to make sure that we had our sewer connections there. And we have worked through that through this particular effort of identifying where our infrastructure is located. Next one, please. So that's further expansion. As you can see, that was looking at what we were doing over with the housing situations, and make sure that we had the infrastructure that was necessary to take care of that and increase development on that end of the property of the Baton Rouge campus as well. Next slide. I just want to go over this real quickly. That ends that one, but this is Gordian. Gordian, through the Board of Regents, is basically doing a detailed asset management of all of our assets on our campuses. Next one, please. Basically, we've already done the Southern University campus. What I mean, they have come on campus with about 9 to 10 people. They have walked through every building. They've taken inventory of all our assets, and they are definitely going to come back with a report. We've also done the Shreveport campus, and we're scheduled to do the New Orleans campus probably in the next several weeks. Next one. Excuse me. The process is this: data is gathered, data is processed, but I want you to pay particular attention to the client review and the data review meeting. It's up to us to make sure that when we're going through this process, that we have our people on board to talk about what they found and make sure it's consistent with what we know was wrong. They may say this, but we know exactly the details of what's wrong, so we're going to make sure that information is captured. Next slide. And this is, first it was the facility condition assessment that was done. Now we're going to do a return on physical assessment, which is a ROPA. And then we're going to do spatialization. All these things are happening through the guidance and direction of the Board of Regents, but we have a lot of things we have to do to make sure that it benefits Southern University and Southern University system, and we're going to make sure that happens. Next slide. These are the processes. You can see a lot of things that have to be done, including looking at work orders, staffing, capital projects, our operating budget. They want all those things to be available with going through this particular process. You can imagine what's that's going to take, not just on Baton Rouge campus. This has to be done throughout the system. So it's a monumental effort to make sure that we do what we need to do. Garbage in, garbage out. We got to make sure we get good information in. Next. And I think that's about it I have for that. One thing else I want to say, we have gone through groundbreakings, right? We're about to start some ribbon cuttings. So at the beginning of next, probably beginning of next year, we're going to have several projects on this campus that we will be doing ribbon cuttings. So I expect a big party somewhere, at least probably at the Welcome Center. We're going to have something that's real nice because, again, I think the president has said, I know Chancellor Pierre has said, this is a renaissance that's happening on the campus, so we should celebrate it. So again, thank you, and I can answer any questions.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chairman.
I yield to the lady from Shreveport.
quick question about the assets that you've identified. Does that include movable capital equipment or what all?
No, the fixed access. We're looking at all the assets that are fixed. We're looking at buildings. We're looking at all of our pumps, HVAC equipment, and that thing. Nothing movable.
Nothing movable.
Nothing movable.
Is there an opportunity to include that? And
I
does
think
that
that
fit in the wheelhouse of what you do for tracking
it won't
purposes?
be fit in the wheelhouse of what the Board of Regents has stated. That's their scope. If we think that's necessary, we can possibly ask them to add that on as a scope, but it's not included in the scope for the Board of Regents.
Thank you.
I walked around and I looked at some of the new buildings that you're about to break ground on. I have not seen this cast bronze metal plaque that has all of these board members and the president name on it. I want that.
Yes, sir.
Every time
It will
these
happen.
board members were here when you did it, so let history reflect 200 years from now that Sheriff Whitehorn was on this board at that time, and his name should go on that plaque.
Yes, sir. It will.
Thank you. On each building.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let me end with this. You and Reverend Henry, I have to say you're the best chair of facility planning, and coupled with Ken Dawson, I'm not ashamed to say this is the best I've seen in my 30 years on this board. You guys are doing an awesome job. And Ken Dawson, the sewage layout of this campus. It's amazing. And the president leaned over to me just then and said, man, y'all lucky to have that guy.
Oh,
That's but I leaned over to him and said, you didn't hire him. So anyway, on a serious note, you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
And Chairman especially wants you to focus on those buildings that started about 2 years before he was chairman. With the titles.
Mr. Whitehall, I'm trying to have a short meeting, Mr. Whitehall.
And I'm gonna be brief, but
Yeah.
I was looking at that drawing from 1940.
Yes, sir.
How many permanent structures, during your assessment, are built on top of any of those sewer lines?
You were here back then.
All I can say is that we have run into some of those lines on several of the projects that we have currently done. We ran into several over here with the amphitheater. We are running into some now that we're dealing with at the STEM building. We also have additional line and running that sewer line that we're taking from the Welcome Center and going back toward the football field. I mean, we are running into a bunch of it. Some of them are even identified, some of them not even identified anywhere.
The reason I asked that question is I work with a consent decree issue up in Shreveport, where many of those sewer lines are running under permanent structures and you have to relocate them.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I just want to know, was that?
We've had to
considered?
we've had to relocate, I think, some electrical lines, and we had to relocate some sewer lines.
All right. Mr. Chairman.
16 feet is the reason it's so deep is because of the gravity feed.
The gravity fit, yes.
So if we were to find a spot adjacent to it and run some new schedule, that real good pipe,
Yes.
can we recreate that gravity feed?
Yes.
Not being so low?
Yes, well, you still have to do it because really the catch basins that's done where the pumps are,
Yeah.
they're already in the ground. But we are changing the pipe. We're going to high density polyethylene. That's what we're putting in the ground now. So we're not dealing with that type of situation anymore.
The chair will entertain no more questions. Any other business? One, before we adjourn, one acknowledgement I want to make. I want to commend, Mr. Jimmy Wade and his team. I was here on Tuesday with 3 students from Atlanta, conducting a tour. And this campus, we are surveillancing it a lot, but this campus is cleaner than it's ever been. We rode around this entire campus with Dr. Bob Day, and thank you for the welcome back. And we actually were looking for trash, family. We were looking for trash. Even by the trash bins, we were looking. We drove around looking for trash. We couldn't find anything. It's almost a miracle. This campus is wonderful, and you are the best. And tell Mr. Jimmy Wade and his team, thank you.
That's it.
I
Thank you.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right,
Then-
thank y'all.
Probably moving second, meeting adjourned.
Happy homecoming.
Ride around and check it out, members of the board.
All right, thank you there, Member Donald Ray Henry. We'll move quickly back to the Academic Affairs Committee. Member Ann Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Roll call.
Yes,
Well, first, let me call it to order. Roll call. Okay,
yes, ma'am. Mrs. Ann Smith,
present.
Mrs. Maple Gaines, Mrs. L. Dudley, Mr. Myron Lawson, Mr. Henry Whitehorn, Attorney Tony Clayton.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. In regards to the adoption of the agenda, I'd like to call your attention to a typographical error or a modification or a correction under the Southern University recommendations for faculty tenure. Calvin Brown, that should be 4 years. 4 years where they have 3. That was a typo.
Second.
It has been moved in second.
Is it? I'm sorry, Member Smith, quick question. Is it the years of experience or the number of years present? Is it
Both.
Both? Okay.
Both. Thank you. Do I need a motion on that? Good. Okay, it has been moved in second. Any opposition? All right, now, adoption of agenda. I need a motion.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
It has been moved and second, adoption of agenda. As for public comments, all public comments must be items from this agenda pertaining to anything that's on this agenda. No comments from the board will be given when we hear public comments unless Mr. Chair or Mr. Vice Chair alters it for some reason. At this time, I will hear public comments. I have 2. One pertains to, the first one will pertain to Ms. Melissa Dotson, and it is 5C1. After which will follow will be Dr. Anthony EGD, and it will be pertaining to 5D1. You may take 3 minutes each, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Thank you so kindly for accepting my comment. And Chairman Clayton, President Shield, and Vice Chair Abraham, good morning. Honorable board members, good morning. I am here in support of 5D1, tenure and promotion, though it is germane to SUNO, and SUNO is a sister institution. We really appreciate the Chancellor for pushing this tenure and promotion forward, because this is one way to retain talented faculty. Otherwise, they leave. We appreciate you. However, I am here on behalf of Southern University faculty to actually remind our Board of Supervisors that we have pending applicants for approval. And we are here. We don't tell board what to do. You only use your discretion. We only appeal. We are really appealing that we have pending tenure and promotion application from SUB Arrow to please, Madam, look into it and do the needful. You are in charge. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you.
Right.
Ms. Melissa Dotson.
Good morning and happy homecoming to all. My name is Melissa Dotson, and I'm currently the Southern University Program Manager, partnered with the College of Science and Engineering, where we are providing transformative educational experiences. Our sole goal and mission in developing the chemical engineering program is for student success and outcome. I do want to pause right now to recognize members of our campus ambassador leadership team. If you could stand right now. My colleagues are here when students hit the ground for move-in. They're preparing them for the career fairs, and they're there to support them when they're successful in their jobs. Specific to chemical engineering, we have letters of support on hand from Shell, Exxon, Sugarfield Spirits, Bear Process Safety, who is committed to teach the process safety program, Boeing, Nexus Louisiana, and OnStream CO2. The curriculum has been vetted through the College of Science and Engineering and curriculum committees. And also tomorrow, to kick off homecoming, Shell will announce an investment, 1.7 million of which will go towards curriculum development and laboratories, which will be state-of-the-art. I also want to mention through our One HBCU initiative, we've already invested $2 million to the College of Science and Engineering and Business. I am a child, the third of 8 kids, and my father's the second of 14. And I can speak to the generational change that my chemical engineering has caused for my family and our community. And I'm here because I want that success for student and university students to come. Thank you for your consideration of our proposal.
Thank you. Action items, request for approval of faculty handbook. That's from Southern University A. Do you have any questions or comments on that? Chancellor McMee?
No, I do not.
I move.
It's been moved and second. Any comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Request for approval for faculty handbook from Southern University of New Orleans.
Second.
It has been moved and second that handbook is accepted, faculty handbook at Southern University of New Orleans. C, action item, request for approval for academic programs for consideration.
I move passage of C1 and 2 in global.
Second.
It has been moved and second. Any opposition?
Say something,
Okay.
particularly on the chemical engineering program. That's an ambitious program to start. I think we have the right dean, leadership to accomplish the enormous task. You're talking about serious money that's going to have to be pumped into this program. And I think the approach is very appropriate in that it's coming from the philanthropic asset approach, along with some assistance from the state. But I want us to be mindful, as Chair of Finance, that it's going to require us stepping up a little bit too. This is a premier program, and we're sitting in the heart of an area that needs this support. So I just want to not run over this without bringing attention to the seriousness of this program. And I think it's a great opportunity for us, but it's going to require a lot of support, and he has that from the peers that I see.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson. Mr. Abraham, would you like to make a comment on that from last evening?
No, I'm in full support of this, as members of the board already know. I think we're on a fantastic path. This is just a procedure that we have to go through in order to make this degree program whole as it relates to the Board of Regents. But I think we're on a progressive path to making this a reality. Should have been done some time ago, but that's irrelevant now. We are here, and thankful to Dean and his committee and his team for pushing this forward. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
You know, I have to join in, although I joke with the president for not hiring Dawson. He did hire this dean. And this dean, he's a bit verbose, but he is doing a great job. So if he's out there, but I like the direction that dean is taking this engineering program.
Thank you. Would you like to say something, Mr. President?
Thank you very much.
One of the things you learn is if you get the right people sitting in the right seat, they do the work, and all credit goes to them and his team, and the support that he's getting from business and including vice chair's company. Their enthusiasm up and down this river is what's going to drive this program. And I'm grateful to have the leadership of Dean Martin taking this on, even though it's in his self-interest because he doesn't have a chemical engineering department and he's a chemical engineer. So he wants his own department. It's good.
Okay. Thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. We'll move on to, I think you did 2 in global, didn't you?
I did.
Yes, so we'll move to D. Request for approval of the recommendation, letter of approval for tenure and promotion. This comes from Chancellor Bowie from Southern University of New Orleans.
Question before you vote.
Okay.
This gentleman, Mr. Brown, only has 3 years, and we giving somebody tenure? Well, 4 years, and you're giving tenure at 4 years, and it appears that, am I reading this 7 out of 7? What does that mean, 7 out of 70%?
Tenured faculty.
70% of your faculty has tenure, but nationwide, I think it's average 30%. Why 70% of, you just get a job there and you just get tenure?
Mr. Chairman, that 70% happened to be there when I came, so I really can't answer why it's
That's
70%.
fair. But back to this guy, 4 years. When I grew up, I don't have tenure, but tenure is just an honorable status. It's like the cream of the crop. You must earn it. Has this gentleman written any books?
Yeah, he's met all of the
Has he written any books?
requirements. Yes, he's published. He's met all of the requirements, including teaching excellence, research, and the requirements for promotion and tenure. He was recommended by the dean, also by the vice chancellor for academic affairs. And his application actually was deferred in actually August when I came. I did some vetting to ensure that it was appropriate, and that's why it's being resubmitted. But he meets the requirements.
Then your recommendation, I'm going to vote for it, but I'm respectfully asking this president and all of you chancellors to collaborate. We need some type of post-tenure review. It just seems like you chancellors come up here every meeting giving somebody's tenure. And I think tenure should be the highest honor and the pay should be commensurate with it. But it ought not be just given out like you're serving a bowl of cornflakes. It should be thoroughly vetted. And we do need a post-tenure, because I don't see where a lot of publications, I don't see a lot of lectures. When I go to these Rotary clubs, I don't see my professors up there. I'm in Chemical Alley. I don't see the toxicologists. I don't see anybody from our sciences over here lecturing these plants or the folks in the communities about carbon capture or anything. Southern needs to take the front, step to the front of the line on all this. And if you're going to give tenure, those ought to be the type of folks that are leading us in the right direction. So with that, and I'm going to ask for the first January meeting that you guys meet and collaborate and make a recommendation to us and with the faculty about having some type of post-tenure review.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I recognize Mr. Lawson.
I don't disagree with you, Mr. Chairman. I think that's the case on all the campuses, as you mentioned, the percentage of those with tenure. But we do have a case on the Baton Rouge campus, and I don't know why it's not on the agenda, Mr. Chancellor. But to me, if it's to the point where it's been brought to the board, I think we need to act on it, up or down. So I'd like to see, if it's the wishes of the board, or there's some other reason we hadn't done it, that to be placed on the agenda for next month. And I don't think it's right to delay that. Either we vote it up or vote it down.
Any other comments? Okay, I'm ready for the question, motion. All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Informational items. We have 3 informational items, and would anybody like to speak on those 3 items?
Ms.
At the
Smith?
last board meeting, someone talked about, particularly the one in risk management. So if that would suffice, I'll move that well, it's not, it's information, all right. That means
Yeah.
you get to talk a long time, Chancellor.
No. I asked Dr. Andrews, these are all under the College of Business, so it won't take very long. Dr. Andrews? Okay, all right, Dr. Iglesias, I'm sorry.
Good morning,
Morning.
Board Chair Clayton and Vice Chair Abraham, honorable board members. I'm representing Dr. Andrews, who had to go and attend the College of Business Council. This proposal in the MBA program is a concentration in risk management, insurance law, and regulation. There is a huge demand in this area, and our MBA students, we want them to graduate not only with a general MBA, but to have some kind of specialization. This is a high demand and a high paying concentration, an MBA in this area. The College of Business does not have all the eligibility to teach insurance law or regulations. So what we are planning is it will be really a kind of joint effort with the law school. We'll tap on their faculty to teach for us while we teach the insurance part and the risk management part. The other two, which are under informational, one is concentration in sports marketing. Again, we get this information from our alumni, interested organizations, and this is an undergraduate, in fact, concentration for marketing majors, and there is really demand and interest from our students. The other is a minor in sports marketing for non-marketing majors. So this much I can explain. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, do we have any other business? If no other business, I would like to have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Before we adjourn,
Okay.
can I say something? Just looking at the audience that I saw. It's okay, that.
It is.
George Clark, I mean, academics,
Most lawyers, one myself, wouldn't be a lawyer enough. I can speak for hundreds without the work that this lady has done. She was the plaintiff in Clark v. Edwards, but this lady has laid her life literally on the line for Southern University Law Center. And I see her out in the audience. And on that academic, there couldn't be a more apropos time to acknowledge this lady and what she's done for our law center. And
Thank you for your work, and we really appreciate what you're doing to support our great Southern University. If no other, Mr. Vice Chair, you have any comments?
I just had one I wanted to add. We have another one of our distinguished alums that is visiting with us on today, Mr. Lewis Henry. Lewis, will you please stand up and be recognized?
he's in the back talking, back there.
Can't even hear us mentioning his name, but he's
Thank you.
with us from St. Paul, Minnesota. Has been very generous in his giving financially to Southern University. So just want to recognize.
Please stand. And let- Oh, he's standing.
Lewis, they're recognizing you.
Who is it?
All right. All right, thank you for being here, Lewis.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, Member Rutledge, I'm sorry.
And I know we're gonna get in trouble by doing this, but there are some folks who come to they are ubiquitous, but they are always at our homecoming board meeting. Delcy Green, the pride of Ouachita Parish by way of Monroe, Louisiana. Miss Jackie Tate. Franklinton, the pride of Washington Parish, and we always have Laquita with us as well, former national president.
Thank you for that,
Any
Member.
others? Any other comments? Vice Chair?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second? It has been moved and second that the academic affairs will adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Ann Smith. Let's move now to the Economic Development Committee. Zell, you gonna take that? Representative Zell Dudley.
Mr. Vice Chair, I'll call the Economic Development Committee to order. Mr. President, may I have a roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Chris Massengale, Mrs. Zell Dudley,
Present.
Mr. Reggie Abraham.
Here.
Ms. Maple Gaines, Mr. Donald Ray Henry, Mr. Myron K. Lawson, Attorney Dwayne Rutledge, Mrs. Ann Smith,
Present.
Mr. Paul Matthews, Attorney Clayton. Here. Madam Chairman, we have quorum.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda, please?
Second.
It's been moved and second to adopt the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposition? Motion carries. Public comments. Are there any public comments? Having none, we'll move to item 5 for our action items. Letter A is the Delta Regional Authority grant submission. Francis from Suno, are there any comments?
Second.
It's been moved and second to accept and pass this action item. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item 6, any informational items? Having none, we'll go to item 7.
Comment
Yes, sir.
is, speaking of economic development, is Mr. Henry in here? He's right, that's him right outside the door. Tell him peep his head in. This gentleman owns more McDonald's probably than any African-American in the country, but more particularly, he's from Southern University. He's one of us. So you talk about someone who definitely affects the bottom line of the economy of this country. But because of Southern University, step in and get your flowers. The guys, this is one of our own. So we want to acknowledge you. So Brother Henry, thank you for what you do on economic development. We just wanted to give you your accolade for what you've done and what you represent, which is a Southern University alum. So,
You can have
Dr. Dale, if you mind, can you take a minute?
I'm Louis Henry. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. We own 19 McDonald's restaurants there, and we're looking at getting 16 more. But my son graduated from Southern, and I don't think I'd be anything without a Southern University. Our system in the Midwest United States, which is the Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, Utah, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, and Iowa, our organization was rated the #1 McDonald's operation in that section of the country. So, it's a lot of smart people like Tony and all those, but I wouldn't have made it without a Southern University. So it's always been my goal to do whatever I could to support Southern, and I hope to continue to support Southern. But I come in to see what happens at Southern. When you look at chemical engineering and the law school and this chancellor, and it just makes my heart good to do it. Thank you.
We're up to item 7, any other business? Yes, sir.
It's being collected now, and the first distribution, will be, in mid-December or so. And once we see that, we'll be ready to figure out what the next step is. We don't have an accurate figure. In a couple of months, In a couple of months, we'll have.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. It's moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Member Dudley. We'll move now to the Finance Committee. Member Myron Lawson.
Chairman, call the order of the Finance Committee. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Myron K. Lawson,
Present.
Mrs. Ann Smith, Mr. Reggie Abraham,
Present.
Attorney Quincy Cawthorn,
Present.
Mrs. L. Dudley,
Present.
Ms. Maple Gaines, Mr. Chris Massengale, Attorney Des Moines Rutledge, Attorney Tony Clayton.
Thank you, Mr.
Chair,
President.
we have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item number 3, adoption of the agenda. Are there any modifications to the agenda as printed? Okay, here none, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Moved by Vice Chair, probably second by Board Member Dudley. Discussion? Here none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item number 4, public comments. Any public comments relative to the agenda as adopted? Anyone approach the podium, we'll move on to action item number 5. A request for FY 2026 through 27 budget request and addenda. Any discussion? I do think Mr. McClinton needs to give a brief explanation as to what we're doing for the new members' benefit in particular. Mr. McClinton.
Thank you. Good morning, members of the board. What you have before you is a lot of paperwork, schedules and all those things that's prescribed by the Board of Regents and the Commission of Administration. Basically, what it is that we are required to, as you recall, in August, we presented the budget for 24-25 fiscal year. Now we are presenting a budget request for the 26-27 fiscal year. What we are doing is taking the budget that was for 24-25, inserting actuals from 25-26, which means that nothing, this is not a request where we're going to get additional money, but it means we have to place the actuals in the budget that was approved. We've gone through the schedule, and the report that I'll be making on the interim financial is the same amount that's in this budget request, which is going to be about $191 million. And in addition to that, there are other parts to it that will bring it up to about $223 million. But we're just required to complete the schedules. Normally, any additional money that we will receive will come through the formula or through supplemental appropriations. But the document you have today is only to include the actions from the prior year.
Okay, any discussion? Questions? Yes, sir, Mr. Rutledge. You have heard the motion made by Mr. Rutledge, probably seconded by Board Member Cawthorn. Discussion, Mr. President.
Just a couple of observations. We had budget here, the Board of Regents about a month ago, heard from Commissioner of the Department of Administration, indicated that there's likely to be a standstill budget.
Good.
I think that's the best we can.
It is. That's pretty good right now.
Very nervous about what revenue stream would be like for the state. Funding request would represent standstill requests.
And I agree with the economy that we're dealing with and the national economy. That's very good for higher education that we're not taking a cut. And just to say that it's going to be flat, that's not bad.
This means we're not going to cut.
Yeah. Well, other times like this, they're saying prepare to cut 10 to 15%. So it's good. Thank you, Mr. President. Any other discussion?
One comment.
Board Member Vice Chair.
Yes, sir, and to the president's point, you know, I think we've been, you know, good stewards in the financial space. But I also think we need to continue to optimize our resources. Like, we have to continue to look within, to see how we can operate more efficiently. We can't continue to expect, the legislature, right, to bail us out in some sense. Okay, so we have to start or even continue. We've seen this, talked to Chancellor Washington about this several times, a couple of you other chancellors, but we have to continue to just challenge the status quo, financial, right? What we have been doing may not necessarily be what we need to be doing currently. So I challenge you, the chancellors, the leadership, to continue to look at current resource optimization, right? We have to be able to look internally and figure out how we can do things more efficiently. I just wanted to add that, Member Lawson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Chair of the Audit Committee, Dudley, and I met with the chairman of the board and the internal auditor, just challenge her to step up a little bit more, the interim auditor, to find inefficiencies. Most people think it's a gotcha job. It's not just a gotcha job. It's to find those inefficiencies. So I know the chair of the audit committee, Ms. Dudley, is doing a very good job in finding those opportunities. So I look forward to what she's doing there. Any other discussion?
Let me ask you a question. Can I direct a question to Chairman Dudley?
Yes.
You and I spoke briefly yesterday. What was the issue you were talking about again? In reference to the running out of time as it relates to the interim auditors, do we?
Yes, the initial contract as it is now expires at the end of this year for the the interim auditor. So I've been talking with the president here on a path forward to make that a permanent position or to just fill the position on a permanent basis.
Okay. The vice chair, acting chair just told me it's on the next agenda. So getting ahead of myself. I'll wait till then.
It's okay for you to get ahead, but so often you're so far behind yourself. Good advice. Yeah, I think they're searching now.
My recommendation is you do the search. Learn some candidates already. You have to put together a search committee and that kind of thing, coordination. Chair of the journal.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none in favor, all in favor, aye. Opposed, motion carries. Now we'll go to item number 7, other business. I want to say something. I hadn't had a chance to speak to him recently about it, but I would like us to, and we talked with all our financial folk on the campus, we need, and I think it's time, if I'm not mistaken, because every 3 years we should do an RFP for a fiscal agent. And I don't know if the last time we've done that. I think we may be leaving some opportunities on the table. I'd like to see what our banks are doing for the system. If they have charges out here, I know we may not be able to put the benevolent side of it in there, but I'd like to see if our banking partners are doing what they should be doing. I don't think you do that effectively. We don't check their all ever so often. Do you know the last time we've done an RFP?
It's been a while.
Okay, I think it's time. Okay. Any other business need to come before the finance committee? Hearing none. Item number 8, is there a motion? No second needed by Mr. Rutledge. Thank you. That concludes finance committee, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Member Lawson. We move now, although we've covered half of the agenda.
Okay, the Internal Audit Committee is called to order. Secretary, may I have a roll call?
Mrs. Dudley.
Present.
Mr. Gaines. Mr. Henry Whitehorn. Present. Mr. Rick Abraham.
Here.
Here.
Chris Massengale. Attorney Moyne Rutledge. Here. Attorney Edwin Shorty. Here. Mr. Myron K. Lawson. Present. Thanks. Madam Chair, we have 4.
Thank you. There are no changes to the agenda. May I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
It's been moved and second to adopt the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Any public comments? Having none, we'll go to item 5 for action items. We have 2 items. Item A, which is a request for approval for an internal charter, and item B, request for approval of the audit plan. It has been modified, and if I may, yes, Ms. Carr is here. She is our interim director, and I wanted her to be here because I know a lot of people around the Harsha don't know, so I wanted her to be here just for the introduce, but she can speak to both item A and B.
Well,
Yes.
I guess my concern is that the item was not, the document was not redlined, so I don't know what changes were made to it, what the updates are. If you could just kind of highlight.
Yes, the main change deals with, let me find it. It's on the top of page 3. Well, it starts at the bottom of page 2. The responsibility, it says the IA Executive System Director reports administratively to the system president and functionally to the Southern University Board of Supervisors, Chair of the Internal Audit Committee. And that falls in line with the standards. So that
And-
was the main change.
And Ms. Carr, how did it read previously?
It read previously that the internal audit director will report to the president and to the vice president of finance.
Okay.
So to align with the standards, it was changed
And,
or updated.
okay, and then on the internal audit plan, the assignment of risk factors, I see we have a lot of high and varied. Is that based on the history for these categories?
Yes, that's based on a risk assessment that we do. The internal audit plan is based off a risk assessment that is done. And we have 3 risk factors, high, medium, and low. So based on our work with the risk assessment, we determined that these were high
Okay.
areas that needed to be audited.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
So, Ms. Carr, posed, set a list of proposed areas of audit, met and discussed, several things, and, she responded to some incidents that happened in the last year, that I wanted to make sure that we needed to pay close attention to. In particular, student fees, we want to be clear that those student fees are being directed appropriately. There was an issue in cash handling here on the SUBR campus. So we walked through, it wasn't the only thing, but we walked through those and reached an agreement between each other, the kinds of things we will propose to the audit committee chair.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Chair,
she's the chair.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry. I do have one concern, as it relates to, one of the bullets under the internal auditor, executive system director, and with the assistant of campus director have the responsibility to. And the third bullet, no, the fourth bullet, issue periodic reports. That's a little broad for me. I think there should be at least quarterly and or biannual or some period of time that's specified in these reports. I've ran into situations in the past where if it's not specific, there's no reports generated. And so you still don't know what's actually been done within the internal audit process. So I think that should be a little more specific rather than just say periodic reports. What's periodic?
There we go. Thank you. And we talked about that. I actually agree with them, but that hasn't been formally presented. And at the time that we produced this, it had. But the frequency of the meetings has traditionally not happened to any consistency at all. So since I've been working with the committee this year, we've been getting her around, and Ms. Carr's done an exceptional job carrying out the audit plan that was already in place at the time that she came into her position. So we've been focusing on that and working on that, and actually on some of the items, to your point, but also in the bullet, it had responsibilities for IT. That was another thing that we changed, that she and her team staff that supports the whole system, their skill set isn't to assess technology that is used. So that was in there before, and that was an item, Attorney Des Moines, that was taken out. I just remembered that while we were talking on that one. But periodic, I agree. Quarterly is fine with me, but if we do it twice a year, but I would agree that we put something in there too, with specificity. Des Moines?
You mean a report to the board in general as far as internal audit status is? We can do that quarterly.
You could.
Yes.
Okay.
That can be done quarterly.
Then I would, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion, if you can do that, then that we would alter the language to say that the reports would be produced quarterly. Is that what you wanted, Chair?
That's exactly.
Okay, that can be done.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, sir.
And if this is, you're not the proper person to answer this, then I'll defer it to someone else. But I got a letter, anonymous. I hate these anonymous letters, but they raised this issue too. It seems to me when I travel, every place I go, nobody takes cash. You got to have a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm told, well, we have to take cash at this parking whenever you pull on the campus. I don't know if I necessarily buy that. Is there any rule written in your profession as an auditor that we must take cash? Because why aren't we going cashless? Cash will make even Myron Lawson go bad. So
That's a question for someone else.
the lawyers.
That's legal, yes.
I think that legislation is wrong. I think we should challenge it because nobody, you ought not take, how do you regulate that? So as an auditor, and listen, guys, I've been a lawyer for 30 some years. I mean, let's challenge it, write an opinion. I mean, it's in the best interest of the taxpayers here. So just because somebody wrote it, that doesn't necessarily mean that extenuating circumstances don't exist. Time evolves. And so people now are doing paperless transactions. And I just don't like giving, and I'll be quiet in a second, Shorty, but I don't like giving cash to these folks. Well, I don't do it, but having folks pay cash money to these folks. So let's revisit it. Let's get an opinion on it. I just don't think it should be, it's shall language that we shall accept cash. But the question was directed to you. What do you think?
What do I think
Yes.
about accepting cash? I think there's a risk in accepting cash because it's hard to track how much cash is received because we need to account for that. And it's difficult when you have multiple people just accepting cash.
Ms. Blosh and you guys, can y'all look into that, see if that we can revisit that and see what, if anything, we can do about it? You about to say something?
Well, my understanding is there was a legislator who went somewhere and they didn't take cash. So he made it his mission to go say, it's not that you have to, you have to have the option of taking cash. Yeah.
Well, then that gives you a way out there.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. All right. And I withdraw, since I'm annoying Mr. Rutledge with my question, but I'll withdraw it. How you doing, Dean Brown? I'll withdraw it.
Okay, it's been moved by Attorney Rutledge, and Sheriff Whitehorn has seconded that we'll approve it with the stated change. All in favor? Any opposition? Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you.
That was for A and B, right? That was for A and B?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Motion
I make-
carries.
Madam Chair, can I just make a comment?
Please.
Okay. I want to thank Ms. Carr, for, the work that happened over the last month or so to get this prepared for you. I appreciated the interaction I had with you and raising the issues I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a second.
One question now, Zell.
Yeah, I was gonna get both of you to see if you, Chair and Vice, had any comments as well.
Yeah. Well, first question is, I know we've talked about this and I hate to put this on the spot right now, but we need to get some timelines on it. What I've seen in my short time on the board is if we don't address, or come to some conclusion on these interim spaces, and these interim roles that we have, it just continues to progress and, 6 months turns into 9 months, 9 months turns into 16 months. So if you can, Zell, I don't know if this question is for you or for Mr. President. Where are we in this permanent role? I know when I came onto the board, I think we put Ms. Carr in this interim role, I think in February. And, we made an agreement, or you made a recommendation that we would do that for 6 months. And in that 6 months, we would have this, this position filled permanently. I think now we're approaching 9 months, or maybe even 10 months, close to it with Ms. Carr in this interim role. So where are we, in this search? And, can you provide, Mr. President, or even Zell, some definitive deadlines or timelines in terms of closing the loop on this?
Well, I'll speak first to it. I know a search has, not a search, but a posting, job posting internally was put out within our system. And then after that, an external search, of which we do have some applicants submitted. And that both are closed. Those are closed. So that's an update on what has happened this year. I think personally that we can go through that, set up a committee and have this matter closed by the end of the year. So I'll turn it over to you, Mr. President.
We'll agree.
Okay. That address your question?
Yes, it does.
Yes, sir.
So my initial question was, her contract terminates December 31st
Yes, sir.
as an interim. What happens January the 1st? We will not, more likely, I'll talk to Reggie and the rest of you, I don't think we will have a meeting in December unless you got, so her contract ends, we're out in order to January 1st?
No, we can extend.
But it would likely just be until January, I suppose, because
Till the board can act.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
it'll just be a wrap.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair, I'd just like to request, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, and chancellors, because it would save a lot of questions. If we're going to put a document as backup, that's a document that has been modified, I would respectfully request that it be redlined so we can see what the changes are. Thank you.
That's what they do in corporate America where he works.
I'll take
Thank
care of
you.
it.
We need to redline.
Yes, I will.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rutledge.
Okay, if there are no other questions coming, thank you, Ms. Carr.
Thank you.
You're doing a good job, Ms. Carr. Thank you.
Thank you.
And in addition to what she's doing, I'd add that the auditors that are at the individual campuses, I've had a chance to talk to some of them, and they express the same thing, that they're having good experience working across the system. So I'm pleased to see that it work as a system. I talked to Ms. Tammy, Dr. Gant. Tammy is at Sussex campus, and she's one of the auditors placed there. We did a new hire. There was a vacancy at Suno's campus. Ms. Carr kicked it in gear, made sure we filled that position. It didn't stay open for an extended period of time because they do have an aggressive calendar that they are working with and trying to meet those timelines. The last thing I'll say on the internal audit, it is important to the body of work to this whole system. We hear about the software, the systems that we are putting in place, the finances and monies that we're asking for. If we're not operating in accordance with what is stated, what good is it? So the internal audit gives us a chance, as Mr. Lawson said earlier, not as a gotcha, but it is something to check and balance to see how we are complying with the stated policies and procedures that we already said we would be doing. And sometimes it just validates that what we're doing is great. And if that's what it is, then so be it. And we'd like to see that as well. So I look forward to continuing to working with internal audit function. Thank you.
So, yes, thank you, Member Dudley. Thank you as well, Ms. Carr. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that while you were up. Thank you for your hard work. You and your team have done a fabulous job in your interim role. And again, thank you for all your hard work. Let's move quickly to the Legal Affairs Committee. Attorney
We didn't
Quincy.
adjourn. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, I'm sorry, Zell. I thought you had.
Moved and
Second.
seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion, meeting adjourned.
All right, my apologies again, Member Dudley. Legal Affairs Committee, Attorney Quincy Cawthorn.
Yes, sir. Attorney Quincy Cawthorn, Attorney Des Moines Rutledge, Ms. Maple Gaines, Mr. Aaron Manzi, Attorney Edwin Shorty, Mr. Henry Whitehorn, Attorney Tony Clayton.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have quorum.
We were action item 5, last motion, no vote, 5A, 5B. Move. All right. Second. And second, all in favor? Any opposition? 6. Motion. All right. That's the end.
That's the way you run a committee. I love the way you.
But I did because I don't want us to overlook the magnitude of this contract with the copier service. And I want to commend, Mr. McClinton for a good job. We've kind of been going back and forth on, this is also a financial matter. Tell them how much we're saving, Mr. McClinton, if you will.
Okay, based on the information that we have, and I would also like to actually thank all the people who work with me, and especially I have a young lady in auxiliaries, Miss Latanya Green Jones, and she's here, and I would like for you all to stand if you allow me to do that. But we did work with the campuses, but based on the proposals that were submitted, when we compared, we had 4 vendors. The lowest bid was roughly about $1,100,000, $180,000 that we will save when you compare the next highest bid to the one that we selected. So we'll save that over a 5-year period. In addition to that, the amount that we are paying now, even though we've had inflation over the past 5 years or so, it's definitely coming in lower than what we are currently paying. So, and the committee worked very closely with us, and the company is actually here today. KM, they're in the audience, but they are here today. I don't know if you all want them to say a word or two or not. It's up to the board.
Yeah, acknowledge them. Who's who's committee? Who's the chair?
Yes, Quincy.
Quincy. Quincy, I respectfully request that you allow them to acknowledge them.
Yes, Mac, you sure can. Come forward, please. Forward, please.
As long as y'all adhere to that 3-minute rule, you're okay.
A lot of times I don't need this, so, but thanks for having us here today. And it's been a pleasure to work with Dr. McClinton and Latanya and many others across the Southern University system on this project. And we look forward to a very successful 5 years ahead with Southern in providing the copier services. You all mentioned as part of your initiative is to seek out additional advantages, efficiencies. Yes, we provide copiers, we provide printers, we provide software. But a big part of what we also provide is a continued look at making the environment more efficient, even in the middle of a contract. So, and we bring this attention through our quarterly reviews, through our annual reviews. And so you should look forward to additional comments and advice from us in the future in that regard. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just want to say thank you as well. Both Patrick and I have worked with Southern University on and off in projects for the past, in my case, about 12 or 13 years, in Mr. Riley's case, almost 20 years. So we just want to say thank you for the opportunity again to be able to work with the university, be able to work with Mr. McClinton and Ms. Latanya to provide the university with a world-class solution that we're putting in place. So thank you again.
Before you go, we would love to like have a scholarship in you guys' name. So come pick a kid or two and let them represent you guys up here. So, and I'm gonna invite you as my guest to homecoming tomorrow. You come to my suite. But I would love to see your name on a scholarship. It just will look so much better to have your name sponsoring a kid or two.
We would love to do that, and I'd love to take advantage of coming over to.
Be tomorrow at the game. You're gonna see some great halftime performers.
I'm looking forward to it.
And when you notice
about the football team, right?
and when you notice the chairman's action, that contract's not revocable, is it?
Right. No, sir. Thank you so much for the offer. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, thank you all.
He's a different person in that realm.
Y'all should never let Reggie chair these meetings. I mean,
Mac, thank you for that. Thank you for Mac creating some clarity. I know the board had some questions about the nature and the specifics of the copy contract, but I appreciate you, the document you sent. Okay. Oftentimes for us, we have a lot of questions, but if, you could just create some clarity for it and help us better understand it, we can make, a quick decision on it. So thank you for that.
Right. What if I may, and I would like for Ms. Jones to stand because she's also the person spearheading the food service contract.
Okay.
And she's doing a good job.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's a heavy lift.
Let me just say this, that Mr. McClinton has brought that young lady along with her. She is top notch and even has been able to explain to me some intricate things that were a little above my depth. So I really appreciate her contribution, not only to this contract, but the work that she's doing on the food service contract.
You stand more than the people in the Catholic Church, Ms. Jones.
You're gonna chair this next.
I'm sorry.
Quincy, sorry. Member Smith.
My question, Dupuy, Adams, Clark and Adams, were there any major? If so, what were they?
Did it work? Okay. Ms. Smith, if you recall, the board approved the contract for Dupuy Clark Adams earlier this year. At the time, the AG wanted 1-year agreements. And then when we submitted it for processing, they came back and said they wanted 2 years. So they increased, what the contract did was it increased the term by an additional year, and it also included a mandatory provision regarding firearms or something similar like that. But it's a mandatory provision in all state contracts. So that's it. Other than that, the hourly rates and services are all the same.
Thank you.
Yes. So, wait, I'm sorry.
No.
It would have been 25.
25.
To 27.
That it should be 25 to 27. We'll confirm. Yes, ma'am.
And I want to commend Brandon and his law firm. I do think they've given us an affordable rate. At some point, we got to sit down with these lawyers and kind of modify their rate. This gentleman does a great job for us. I mean, that it doesn't count in the times we'll call Brandon at his house after hours. And, I mean, he's always stepping up to the plate. I would like to see him implement his brother here to come in and assist too with some of the issues, but they've done a great job for us. I do think we're a little on the low end with their salary, but, I mean, their fees, but they accepted him. I guess we'll have to accept it. Maybe in 27, you'll bump it up a little bit, but he does a great job. They do a great job.
No, we cutting it close, cause I always pick up the tab, then we go to eat.
All right, any other questions or any other questions or comments? All right, good. We'll move forward now to the Southern University Board of Supervisors meeting. I will call it to order. Can we get a roll call, Mr. President? Yes. Yes.
Attorney Tony Clayton,
Here.
Mr. Reggie Abraham,
Here.
Attorney Quincy Cawthorn,
Here.
Mrs. L. Dudley, Ms. Maple Gaines, Mr. Donald Ray Henry, Mr. Myron K. Lawson, Mr. Aaron Manzi, Mr. Chris Massengill, Mr. Paul Matthews, Attorney Des Moines Rutledge, Attorney Edwin Shorty, Mrs. Ann Smith, Reverend Dr. Samuel Tolbert, Dr. Ronnie Whitfield, Mr. Henry Whitehorn. Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as noted? And moving properly second to adopt the agenda as denoted. Is there any unreadiness among the board? Seeing none. All in favor? All opposed? Seeing none. Let's move on to the public comments. I have one public comment by a Valerie Levine. Can you come forward, please? She's a daughter of Julia Bradford Moore. Resolution recognizing the 100th birthday of Mrs. Moore.
Mr. Vice Chair, good morning.
Morning.
Ms. Levine could not make it this morning, but she did send a statement that she asked that we read on behalf of her mother,
Okay.
if that's acceptable.
Yes, it is.
They are watching online. I do want to point that out. Miss Julia Bradford Moore is one of our alums, and it's fitting for homecoming that we are honoring her 100th birthday that is coming up later this month. And we have a resolution that'll be before you shortly. But Miss Bradford Moore says, I owe my entire education to this great institution. From Southern High to Masters plus 30, my life has been deeply shaped by the excellence and spirit of Southern University. I live in the shadows of the university, listening to the human jukebox practice, the roar of the crowd on game night, and the quiet of a Sunday morning full of hope for what the week will bring. I had a stroke at 97 years old and would sing the Southern University alma mater for my therapy. It was a test of my current memory, but also a testimony of my lifelong connection to Southern. Singing those familiar words provided motivation and determination that sustained my recovery. To the board members, as you serve and make decisions that will shape the next generation of Jaguars, may you always be guided by the mission, vision, and values of Southern University. Remember that you are stewards of a legacy built by those who came before you, those who learned, led, and served, and loved under the banner of the blue and gold. Let your leadership be rooted in integrity, inspired by faith, and strengthened by your devotion to this great institution. May the same winds that carry the songs of the human jukebox remind you that Southern spirit is alive in all of us, past, present, and future. With gratitude, Julia Bradford Moore, daughter of the great Southern University, class of 1947. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Let's move on now to item 5, resolutions.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Today, we proudly recognize and celebrate the 100th birthday of Miss Julia Bradford Moore, an esteemed Southern University alumna, educator, trailblazer in women's athletics, breast cancer survivor, and advocate and lifelong community servant. Mrs. Moore made history as a member of Southern University's first women's basketball team and was later inducted into the Southern University Sports Hall of Fame for her pioneering contributions to women's athletics. She is a trailblazer both on and off the court. Following her own breast cancer journey, Ms. Moore transformed her personal challenge into a lifelong mission of advocacy, founding Sister Supporting Sisters in 1996 and later the Louisiana Coalition of African American Breast Cancer Survivors in 2004. Organizing the first statewide survivors conference in 2005 and providing compassionate support to women across the state. With nearly 50 years in education and decades of health advocacy, Mrs. Moore exemplifies the spirit and values of the Southern University system. We honor her extraordinary legacy and extend our heartfelt congratulations on this remarkable milestone. And that's it for resolutions today, sir.
All right, thank you for the resolutions. Can I get a motion to adopt? All right, been moved and properly second. Any questions? All right, all in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. All right, let's move on now to item number 6. I think we can do items 6, 8,
Right.
and B
So moved.
together. Been moved and second by Member Dudley. We're moving properly second. Can I get a motion? All right, you got it. Moving properly second. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. All right, hearing none, let's move on to item number 7.
Let me see how y'all respect Mr. Abraham and see how long y'all go with him, Mr. Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chancellor.
No, no problem.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to the resolution, we lost a very dedicated servant from Southern University, Ms. Rhonda Robinson, who worked in the Title III program, and she died unexpectedly. And we just wanted to acknowledge her service.
Who was this?
Rhonda Robertson? Rhonda, yes. Robinson, yes. Upward bound, yes, upward bound.
Mr. Chair, let me add another one, if it's not too late.
Go ahead.
I had one of my deputies killed over the last several days, and another one is in serious condition. So just a resolution going to the family of Charles Riley, who's the deputy that was killed, who worked directly under me, guys, and then my other deputy, Brett Stassi. But if we send some type of resolution to the family of Riley, I think that would be appropriate.
Any other questions or comments? All right, moving on to item number 7, informational items, presidential report.
I'm just gonna mention a couple of things that I had a few minutes at the front end of, meeting to, address. First thing I want to say is the work that Chancellor Pierre's team and Dr. Young's team did putting together that grant proposal for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund Lilly Foundation $2 million capacity building grant was a really remarkable effort team across so many ways. And that grant is going to be a game changer in a lot of ways. And I have real confidence moving forward that that team will push that out. Number 2, I would mention that one of our young students was in a serious accident close to campus last night and is in surgery now. What was the young woman's name? But I hope your thoughts and prayers will go out to her. The other thing I want to mention is that our focus on continuous improvement in campus security. These threats over the last few weeks have heightened our sensitivity to it. We did tabletop exercise. I've asked each of the chancellors across the system to schedule a full-scale mock incident on their campuses early next year. in January or February, as soon as possible, so that the campuses can go through the exercises of understanding how to respond to these events. The last thing that I will say is that I believe in our football team, and I fully support them, and will be yelling my support to them, or at the very least yelling at the referees when I don't like what they do. But I appreciate this is homecoming, and there's a lot of things that surround that, and I want those young men to know that we're fully behind them succeeding tomorrow against those evil people from Prairie View. Thank you.
I think we're gonna win tomorrow.
Well, we're shooting up past the Danny Donaldson, so that's a bonus. All right, moving on, Chancellor Bowie.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair and
If
members.
I can, I am thoroughly enjoying working with Chancellor Bowie, and I see every sign that he is going to be a remarkable leader and remarkable success at SUNO. And my thanks to you for all your hard work and your great leadership down there.
Oh, thank you for that, Mr. President.
What about the other ones?
He's the new one. He's the new one. You know, in about a month, he'll be subject to the same abuse that the others have been getting.
We're lying in wait for him. Trust me.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Of the items in the Chancellor report I submitted, I'd just like to call your attention to two. One specifically, that we had a total of 65 graduates from our College of Business and Public Administration to receive some digital credentials in 3 workforce-aligned competencies, specifically project management, database management, and business communications. And the other item is simply to exemplify the hard work of our students and faculty that was mentioned earlier by the president. Recently, 12 of our students received 12 SURE grants from the Board of Regents, which will allow them to do research with faculty. And so we are actually very proud of that because it exemplifies their work in the STEM disciplines. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Any questions comments for Chancellor Bowie? All right, moving on. Chancellor Gaines.
Yes, good morning, everyone. To Chairman Clayton, Vice Chairman Abraham, President Shields, and members of this honorable board. You do have my Chancellor's report on your desk, but there's just a few things I wanted to highlight really quickly. I want to say thank you to the Southern University faculty and staff. This semester, our fall-to-fall enrollment, we've experienced a 6.8% increase in our fall-to-fall enrollment, and our retention rates have increased as well. We experienced an 8.8% increase over fall 2023 to fall 2024, to fall 25. Another important thing is the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, recently completed a full inspection of our aviation maintenance technology program and its facilities at our downtown Shreveport Airport. I'm proud to report that our program earned 100% compliance score with 0 recommendations. And this is definitely a true testament of the excellent work that's happening between our faculty and staff at our aviation department under the leadership of Director Timothy Banks. Also, our radiology technology program, the class of 2025, achieved 100% pass rate on the national licensing exam, an outstanding testament of the great work that's happening in our allied health and nursing program under the leadership of Acting Vice Chancellor Joanne Waring Brown. Lastly, I would like to report on October the 30th, we will hold a press conference with our Sheriff's Office on our reentry education and training program. This initiative is one of the first at Southern University at Shreveport, and we are really excited about the collaboration, the partnership with Sheriff Whitehorn and the Sheriff's Office in Shreveport, Caddo Parish. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Chancellor, again, any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to Chancellor.
I timed you. That was the shortest you've ever been.
wasn't, he was texting, he wasn't typing.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Abraham, Chairman and President Shield, honorable board members and colleagues. I wanted to talk a little bit about the College of Agriculture. One of the things we're most proud of is, of course, our 60% or so increase in enrollment over the past 5 years. But I think a testament to the two individuals you showed earlier, which was one of our students and the person in charge of recruitment and retention, our retention rate is right at 70%. And we're really proud of that with a goal of 75, eventually getting to the 80% level. So we're proud of the fact that we are investing resources at the college level in our students, because I think we have the best students here at Southern University, and we need to make sure that we provide them with adequate wraparound services to make them feel like they're cared about. A couple of things tonight is Vino on the Bluff. I'm excited about that. We will be releasing our first wine collection. Only thing I would say, be there for that announcement at 8:01, and that'll give you guys a little homework as to what 8:01 means. So we're excited about, I think, 7 or 8 different wines we'll be releasing in this room and the event starts at 6:30 right here at the Tarver Center. So we're excited about that. We have both indoor and outdoor entertainment. Bring your wallets, your cards, or what have you. We do accept cash. But we will have a silent auction, and there are some tremendous things that will be available. So we're excited about that. Next week, and this was just a poor scheduling, but it's also Ag Week is next week. So you see one of the Grow Pink for Ag, and which will be this one right here. And so we have a full week, and I will be sending some information out to some of you. I am hosting the dean and his individuals, work with him from the College of Ag at FAMU. We'll try to treat them as nice as we can, knowing that we have to play them, of course, on that Saturday. So I'm excited about that. I will get an agenda to the board so you can know what we're doing and where we'll be. And we're excited about next week being Ag Week, but first trying to get through homecoming. That concludes my report.
I want you to know, Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor leaning over to me. Well, I think he means 8:01, like something happened in 2001. I'm Googling it now with ChatGPT. I'll have the answer.
All
Well,
right.
I would just say, just think of addresses.
That's what you had it, Tony. You had it. Yeah.
Hey, ChatGPT, that's
it.
Southern's address.
That's it. All right, thank you, Chancellor McMeans. Chancellor Washington.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Mr. President, and board members. One of our goals last year was to increase our LSAT medium, and I'm proud to report that we have done that. This incoming class is at 147. That's up from 146 last year. And of course, our goal is to always have our undergraduate GPA north of 3.0, and we're continuing to do that. For the July 2025 Louisiana board exam, students achieved an outstanding 75% first-time board passage rate, surpassing Tulane Law School in this exam cycle. And this continues a pattern of growth. We were at 61% in July 2024 and 51% in July 2023. Additionally, the all takers board passage rate, and this which includes both first time and repeat takers, increased by nearly 20%, reaching 62% in July 2025 compared to 43% in July 2024 and 44% in July 2023. That's Louisiana. So while we await the full results for the common law exam, early reports are encouraging. Our class of 2025 who took the Texas bar exam achieved a 60% first-time bar passage rate. That's up from 41% last year. So we're still awaiting bar exam results from 10 other states where our students took the bar, and as those trickle in, they will be reported. So this remarkable progress reflects the dedication and discipline of our students and our faculty and our bar prep team, and we talked about them earlier. And I'd also like to recognize John Pierre for leaving us with a strong foundation upon which to build our bar prep programs. And I just want to acknowledge some of our coordinators, Dr. Marla Dickinson, she's the coordinator of our bar wellness program. Professor Chandria Williams is the coordinator of our common law supplemental bar program. Charlotte Forsum is the coordinator of our common law bar prep courses program. And you heard earlier about Cynthia Reed and Michael Gerard. And then we have Prentice White and Regina Ramsey. They work in all four of our bar prep initiatives. And I want to personally thank them for their work. And also Gregory Spire, who is our data guy. We collect data after every bar administration to determine where our students are strong and where they are weak. And then we tailor what we do to address those deficiencies. And so I want to thank everybody at the law school, all of our faculty members, our bar fellows, our coaches, and everyone else who played a vital role in this collective achievement. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to again congratulate and commend you, Chancellor, and the entire team over there. And I hope you can, and you and I talked about this, but I certainly hope you can capture the essence of the changes that you guys made such that you can replicate this success going forward. I also want to make this point gently that while I understand the ABA and there may be some requirements or some pressure to increase your minimum LSAT score, the point should be made that the cohort of students who achieved this success came from a cohort who did not have to meet that high score. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes.
Okay. And so I want to make certain that we still keep the bridge there for the Tony Claytons of the world. Thank you.
Yeah, and the Alvin Washington.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
You know, look, you're right. I mean, I was not the brightest bulb in that chandelier, but it's okay. I do all right though. But
Happy to finish.
you know, law schools across the country, and I'm gonna direct this to you, Nancy. They have open book tests. When I go to court, I have an open book with me in the courtroom. I have an open book, Shorty, just as you do when we go to the Supreme Court next week. I don't know why your colleagues in your school does not have open book, because that's how you train a lawyer. But to have them guess or try to memorize the answer to a test, would you entertain maybe an informational item at the next board meeting to tell us what your colleagues think about having open book? You laughing? To me, it's antiquated to do what they're doing over there at law school, saying that they got to memorize something at the end of the year, one test. So I think you should suggest.
Mr. Chairman, I know you want to go and enjoy these homecoming festivities.
Okay.
And you asking somebody who's not going to be able to do what you asking them to do. They don't have open book on the bar exam. So we wouldn't be helping them by allowing them to use their textbook in law school to take an exam when they're not going to be able to do that on game day.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. Back to you, Nancy. The open book allows you to take the test and you're going to know the answer as opposed to trying to memorize it. I mean, thank God you're here and you got us to 75%, but under the previous chancellor, they were hovering around 50% with a closed book. So I'm only telling you, look at the Harvards, look at the other schools. The Moore Rutledge son is at UT. He has an open book. They take open book tests. So let's not stay caught up in the past because your chancellor says what he's gonna, we can outvote him. If that's what you want, if that's what your colleagues want, that's where we're gonna go with it. I suggest you study it and not have a closed mind like your chancellor. Study it and tell us what you think about it. Thanks.
And I must also say Tony's son is at UT also. We didn't plan this, but they're in the same section and they're both 1Ls and taking off.
It's mutual admiration, but my son said to me that Des Moines' son was one of the smartest people he ever met. I said, what about me? He said, Dad, like I said, Des Moines' son. I'm done, but Nancy, I want you to report back to us with that.
Yes, sir. And let me say, I'm certain that both of your sons are smarter than both of you, so just other, but quick question, Mr. President. Something's going right on the campus. I heard about the numbers up in Shreveport. I'm hearing about Ag Center. I'm hearing about the law school. We need to share the successes. I'm getting back to that. One thing that when we talked to Mr. Washington when he was selected for interim, he said, I'm going to work on the mindset. I've been talking to Ms. Honoré on the Baton Rouge campus. We need more counseling, academic, and I'm going to say coaching. He did an excellent job from his start of coaching these students. I hope you can share that down the line until we start investing in academic counselors, which is Baton Rouge campus, Mr. Chancellor Pierre is committed to do that with Ms. Honoré and the Chancellor, and making sure that we have the resources for them, and that's what he provided. I think that was a correlation between the success. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, you're right. I mean, the mental wellness of the students is very important. We did a survey of our students who failed the bar, and we discovered that many of them were suffering from test anxiety. And so we brought people in to help to address that. And so that's one of the things that he's talking about.
Comment. I would just like to say, I agree with both of them. And I have seen it happen when you're focused, and especially on our freshmen and sophomore students, and they have the proper counseling and advisors to help them, it will cause a great improvement on our retention rate. Stat,
One other comment.
right, the data and stat has proven that.
Mr. Washington, one other thing, congratulations again on your success, all that good stuff, and you've had your plate full, and you've had remarkable success at the law school here. But I would like you to take a couple minutes to update us on the law school plans. You've been doing due diligence and double duty as you continue to work and look at opportunities for the law school in Shreveport. Can you give us a quick update on that or comment on where we are with that?
I'm waiting on that answer too, Mr. Washington.
Okay, well, so one of the things is we hired a consultant to review the past and potential future operation of a law center in Shreveport, and that report is due in the latter part of November or early December, and we're going to ask them to present to the board and to the stakeholders up in Shreveport. It's a comprehensive report that will basically outline what it would take from a financial and staffing and ABA standpoint to have a law center footprint in Shreveport. And so we're waiting on that. And we have been exploring some financial opportunities. We got $2 million from Senator Cassidy that we have to use by 2027. Senator Jenkins helped us to get $500,000 for operational costs up there. And so we do have funds available to start a program if this board and the stakeholders in Shreveport agree that that's what we would like to do. We did get a letter from them, though, indicating that our lease is going to expire in June of 2026, and they want the lawsuit resolved. So that's one thing that we got to talk about because that's running parallel with the things that we're doing. And they also want us to contribute to the cost of some of the repairs that we're actually suing them for. And so we're gonna have to work some of those things out first. And then if the consultant's report is positive, we can move forward.
Mr. Washington, can I, Rich? I've been privy that the number is somewhere between 25 and 50 million to get the law school up and running up there. Are those large numbers, or is that something?
No, well, I don't think it'll take that much. We had the semester in Shreveport up there, and that was about 300,000 to operate it, but to get it to the point where we could actually have classes, I think it was, John, it was almost $2 million. But that has been done. So the idea is to start off with just a semester in Shreveport for 2 years, then move to a year in Shreveport. That is not gonna cost us a lot because it's not gonna be a lot of students.
Well,
But yes, to
let
try to have
let me-
a full-fledged law school up there, I mean, our budget is 29 million here with 800 students. It's not gonna take that much to operate a campus up there, but I don't know what the number is.
And I ended with this. I don't know if Shreveport has the infrastructure to sustain law students. What I mean by that is they have to have clerkships, they have to work for judges, they have to work for lawyers, they gotta make some type of money. Down the road from you, at SUNO, you don't necessarily need Board of Regents approval. It's just the approval from this board to put a satellite evening program with Dr. Bowie in New Orleans. You have the most judges down there, the most lawyers down there. You have the infrastructure so that these kids can live there, and you got a pool that you can pick from that would keep the historical perspective of this law school. I've asked you several times to collaborate with Dr. Bowie about having an evening program there. I think it's quicker, it's better. We can do it, and we can start next semester with that.
We actually can. I mean, the thing is, as long as the students don't take more than 15 hours per semester, we don't have to get approval from the ABA or SACS. So we can have classes down there. We just need to work it out. We talked
Can we
about,
do it in January?
well, we can have some trial advocacy courses down there.
Dr. Bowie is trying to tell you something, and then you respond, Mr.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, and well, he's talking about, we are working on a 3+3 with them, but we can actually have some trial advocacy courses down there, but we cannot have a full-fledged
In January.
law school,
I
Mr.
understand.
Chairman, without the approval of SACS and the ABA. At a certain point, they get involved, but
So
we
come,
can't have a semester. in
so
Shreveport.
come January, SUNO will have an evening program with trial advocacy down there, less than 15 hours.
Well, we can have a trial advocacy class.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem.
So will that
But
happen?
we got judges down there. Yes, we
Well,
can
so-
offer a class
hold on.
for our students who commute from New Orleans.
Will that happen, Dr. Bowie?
We on board with it.
Yeah.
talking about.
So we'll talk about it at Bike Classics. We'll have evening classes in New Orleans, starting January. I think that'd be great. What do you think about
Yes,
that?
sir.
I'm fine with that, but I wanted to comment on the statement about the people in Shreveport and infrastructure. I've spoken with the chairman, and he's willing to make whatever needs to be done in order to get us back in the building happen. So that's not the problem. We just need to figure out what's going on, what we have up there that hasn't been paid for, that don't need to be paid for, and make it happen. And again, when I was in law school, driving to New Orleans back and forth wasn't a problem, but from Shreveport to Baton Rouge is a problem. So I think we really need to try to make the thing in Shreveport work. We already started it. I think it would be a good idea to try to see it through and try to support the northern portion of the state, people who probably will be non-traditional students.
Yeah. And they've already contributed $700,000 to the project, and then they're not charging us for those 2 floors. We got 17,000 on both, on each floor. We don't pay any amount for that. We do pay $34,000 to share costs, but they're not charging us to lease the building at all.
And they won't.
Yeah.
And I'd like to make a comment as well. Oftentimes look like we stop at I-10 and we forget about what's above I-10, Mr. Chairman. I believe that we can support that. We do have the infrastructure to support that law school. We have to remember too that Shreveport is part of the Western District, which covers 42 of our 64 parishes. And we have 5 courthouses.
just on the federal side, not counting the district courts and city courts and the juvenile courts and so forth. So I think we do have the infrastructure.
Yeah. And all of the students who participated in the semester in Shreveport, all of them had jobs. They all got jobs. They got jobs with the judges up there, with the lawyers up there. And keep in mind that our market is not just Shreveport. It's they border Texas and Arkansas, and the consultant is looking at that too. They're looking at what undergraduate schools would be our targets, and so they're going into Texas. And then they got Grambling, they got the school in Monroe. You got Tech. So our feeder schools are not going to just be Shreveport schools, which they only have a couple. So we realize that we will have to attract students from different places. So we're not going to depend on just the people who live in Shreveport.
And if I could emphasize what Quincy just stated, I talked to the president of the library board he called me after one of their meetings, and he did share that there is amicable. They want to work and find mediation. They want to see Southern there. So if there's any notion that is not, the interest is in Shreveport to make this work. So I would just put on the table for us to demonstrate that we want to make it work also. And Alvin, you've been doing a great job carrying the water and doing the due diligence to make this current, because I know decisions were made in the past, but now we have to make some more time-sensitive decisions in this current time. And I thank you for the leadership that you're doing here in Baton Rouge, but also as you consider seeing what our opportunities are to expand the law center from Baton Rouge to extend in a different market in the north. So thank you for your body of work.
All right, thank you, Member Dudley. Any other comments, questions? All right, good. Chancellor John Pierre.
Yes. I just wanted to say happy homecoming.
Happy homecoming.
All right. We have lots of alums here and a lot of activities that have been going on. Chairman Clayton, Vice Chairman Abraham, and President Shields. I want to do a few things and we'll be out of here as far as that. I want to thank President Shields for helping us access a very important program, the K-16 platform, which is a data warehouse that will enhance our infrastructure to catalyze the goals and objectives of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund grant and his work with the Louisiana Board of Regents. They have contributed to us being able to make that happen. And we have Mr. Darrell Nash here, who is in the audience. Mr. Nash is a representative of UCIT, which is helping us with data governance effort, data cleanup, and that's very, very important as we move forward to what we want to do in the future to improve student outcomes. Next thing I want to do is I want to compliment and praise Student Affairs all throughout for everything they have done to make this homecoming week the success that it has been, and particularly working with all aspects of our university campus police, everyone. So far, we've been blessed, no incidents. We want to keep it that way. This is very, very important. And you know, we've had all the cooperation from facilities, from Ms. Desiree Honoré Thomas leading us. All those issues that have occurred at other campuses have not occurred with us yet. And I believe we will continue to see that success as so many people enjoy this day today. We also have all the great events, the Vino on the Bluff, the Gala on the Bluff. We also have an opera that's going to happen here tonight and Sunday, the Emmett Till Opera, which I think, you know, most people fail to recognize 70 years ago, the impact Emmett Till's death had on changing America, how that inspired a great woman in Montgomery, Alabama to just take a seat on the bus. And that inspired what we call the modern civil rights movement, which we see is going to be needed another injection in the arm, because there was a big case that was argued just on Wednesday that may affect everything we do in this country for years to come. So this is the kind of things that are happening here at Southern University, and I want to congratulate our 164 student athletes that made the SWAC Commissioner's Honor Roll, because it shows that we are not only pursuing excellence in athletics, but in academics, which is, at the end of the day, only a small percentage of them will actually make a living playing professional sports of any kind, but they will be citizens of this country and this world, and they're going to carry the mantle of Southern University as they go out and transform America. Thank you, and again, thank the board for all of its support. We approved some programs today that are going to be extremely important, and we look forward to all the things that we're going to continue to do at Southern University. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chancellor Pierre. Any questions or comments? Chancellor Pierre. I will add, I think we had a fabulous homecoming parade. I want to commend you and your team for making a change in that. I think we're going to see the true benefit of that on Saturday, moving it from the Saturday of homecoming to the Sunday leading up to it. I also want to commend you and your team for a really fabulous coronation of our current Miss Southern. I think Miss Gayla Marcus on Wednesday that I attended. This event was very well put together. I'm sorry. Just wanted to say that, Chancellor. And we had some family. I don't know if all the board is aware of this. We had actually a family day on the bluff for families, community family day event on Sunday evening. You know, went off without any glitches. I certainly want to commend you and certainly Desiree and her team and your student affairs people for setting this up the right way. Security was tight, right? What I would expect it to be, but a fabulous family day event. Listen, it's been a great week thus far, and I anticipate with the various activities that we have for the remainder of the week, it's going to be one of the best homecoming weeks that we've had. But thanks again, Chancellor Pierre. Mac, you have anything for us? Okay, I'm sure our National Alumni President has something for us on the day.
If I have to, I will go for it. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman, Mr. President and Chairman. Welcome to the Bluff. Welcome back. Just want to say to our alumni, welcome back. We got a lot of distinguished alumni that we in the room that we've already recognized. So I'm excited to see their faces, excited to reconnect and have those conversations. And part of our job here at the Alumni Federation is recognition for what they've done. So yesterday we had our 40 Under 40 Gala to recognize our young alumni, those who are doing powerful things in their careers and their jobs, and not only that, giving back to the university. At the culmination of the evening, they wrote a check for $4,000 on the spot back to help the scholarship for the university. So I think the idea is kind of getting our young alumni engaged, getting them the process of giving back to the university. So that was really great. The second part of our job is engagement. And after today, we've got a nice little reception, fellowship, reunion at the intramural building right behind in the back of campus. So you all are welcome to attend. Come back, reconnect, enjoy each other, come say hello. You're all are welcome again this evening. So go Jags.
All right, thank you so much. Real quick before we go, do we have any alumni that are present in the room? Any alumni that are visiting with us on today from out of town? Please stand and be recognized. I know we did a few of them.
I just wanted to join Reverend Henry back our own Dr. Nate.
Beat me to it.
I want you to know that
Yeah.
I didn't know he was not here. I'm joking, I'm joking.
You don't miss them till they're gone, right? Welcome back, brother. Absolutely. Anyone from Shreveport visiting us on today, would you please stand and be recognized? Anyone from Shreveport campus, Shreveport? Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Chancellor, again, your royal court was at the coronation. It's very, very good looking court. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. How about Suno? Anybody from Suno? All right, yeah, Bree, absolutely. Chancellor Blewett, your Aurora Court was in attendance as well on Wednesday. Very, very good looking, group of young individuals. That's it.
Mr. Vice Chair, I see our Dean Brown, who's taking our nursing school to new heights out there. But I want to take a point of personal privilege again and thank all of you who attend these board meetings. You keep us straight, you keep us honest. But all of you who will attend this game tomorrow, we need your eyes. If you see something, say something, because we do not want to experience what Jackson State and what Alcorn experienced. So we need you guys. As I told you, every one of these board members, particularly the men, we will be out there. Manzi, you too, we will walk around and we will make sure that our home is safe for our fans. So go Jags, and if y'all had to vote who does a better job as chair, and me, I'm joking. So
It
thank
goes to
y'all
you-
for,
goes to you,
and the
Mr.
audience,
Chairman.
the folks out there in Cyberland, thank y'all for supporting us, and go Jags and happy homecoming.
All right. Yep. Can I get a motion for adjournment? I've been moving properly second. We are adjourned.
Not you can have your jacket back.
All right.
Yeah.